what we're going to be looking at in this section is we want to look at how to solve a right angle triangle using the trig ratios. All right. So we have a number of questions there that we want to look at. So let's focus on number one here. So we're looking at this one, number one. So in this question here at number one, we have the triangle where an angle was given. We do have the adjacent side to the angle. This side is adjacent to the angle. And definitely we are supposed to find the value for the opposite side to the angle. So then we want to look on the trig ratios to see which one involves the opposite side and the adjacent side. And then we realize that it is a tangent, right? It is this one, tangent. It involves the opposite and the adjacent. So we could start by saying the tangent of the angle in a right angle triangle is equal to the opposite side over the adjacent side. So the tangent of 60 degrees is equal to the opposite side, which is A over 4. At this time, we could just put the tangent of 60 over 1 just to show cross multiplication for some people, depending on what you're used to. So we could easily cross multiply. So this time, this is equal to 1 times that, all right? So we're talking 4 times the tangent of 60. So 4 times tangent of 60 degrees is gonna equal to 1 times A. And definitely we understand that 1 times A is A. Taking out a calculator is making sure that it is in degree mode. So 4 tangent of 60 is equal to 6.93 centimeters. And that is the value of A. So the value of A is 6.93 centimeters. Remember, when we're doing this, all we have to do is to make sure that we figure out how things are related. How is this 4 related to the angle at 60? And how is the side that they want us to find related to the angle at 60? So we want to look at stuff like those. All right, let's look on the second one. So I'm going to just mark this as number 2 right here. So in number 2, we have a right angle triangle again. And this is one of the things that we have to make sure that we have. It has to be a right angle triangle for us to employ the trig ratios. So we have our right angle triangle there. And then outside of the right angle triangle, we have an angle which is 41 degrees. And then they ask us to find the side across from it. So we have the opposite side to find. So this is opposite here. But we actually got 12.6 centimeters, and that side is opposite to the right angle. So this is the hypotenuse. So then I want to look at the trig ratios to see which one includes 1, the opposite side, 2, the hypotenuse side. So opposite and hypotenuse, and we're looking at sine. We're looking at this one, sine, right? So let's go for the sine ratio. The sine ratio says that the sine of an angle in the right angle triangle is equal to the opposite side over the hypotenuse side. Therefore, the sine of 41 degrees is equal to, in our context, the opposite side, which is D. So it's going to equal to D over the hypotenuse side, which is 12.6. So then What we're going to do now is to employ a little cross multiplication again. 12.6 times the sine of 41 is equal to 1 times d. So then let's write out this. 12.6 times the sine of 41 degrees is equal to 1 times d. 1 times d is d. So what we want to do is just to put on our calculator and make sure the calculator is in degree mode. 12.6 times the sine of 41 degree, and we get 8.3 to 1 decimal place. And this is the value of d. So there it is. We just found the value for d. All right, let's look at another one. We could look at a number 3. So I'm going to call this number 3. All right, go look at number 3. Now, for this number 3 here that we have, this number 3 that we have here, we're finding E, and then E is opposite to the angle. So this is opposite again. And I am realizing that I do have the side opposite to the right angle. That means I have the hypotenuse again. Hypotenuse and opposite is sine. So then we're going to use the sine ratio again. And then this time, we're talking the sine of 37 degrees is equal to E over 7.4. We could easily employ cross multiplication as usual. 7.4 times the sine of 37 is equal to 1 times E. So let's write this down. 7.4 times sine of 37 is 1 times E. 7.4 sine 37. And I'll get 4.5 this time. And this is centimeters. And this is equal to the length of the side at E. There it is. All right, let's do one more. All right, let's do just one more. So let us say we have a right angle triangle down here like this. All right, so we have a right angle triangle. And we have an angle here which is 50 degrees. Let's say this is 16 meters, and this is X. And we want to find the value for X. So we want to find the length of X. One of the things that we have to do as we go about is that we want to make sure that in our calculations, we know what we have before we start. So firstly, this is the angle here at 50. And then we definitely realize that we have the side next door, and next door we refer to as adjacent. So we have the adjacent side, and definitely we have this side opposite to the 90 degrees, which means that we have the hypotenuse to deal with. So the hypotenuse and the adjacent side says that we're dealing with cos. So the cos of the angle is going to equal to the adjacent side over the hypotenuse side. All right, let's continue working. So in this case, we're saying the cos of 50 degrees is equal to the adjacent side, which is 16 over X. Well, we can cross multiply. X times the cos of 50 is equal to 1 times 16. So X times the cos of 50 degrees is equal to 1 times 16. Remember that we want to find x. So definitely we need to get rid of the cos of 50 degrees. So we're going to divide both sides by the cos of 50 degrees. So then x is equal to 16 divided by the cos of 50. So x is equal to that. So what we're going to do is to put that on our calculator. 16 divided by cos of 50. And our answer is 24.9 meters. My answer was given to 1 decimal place. There it is. There we go. All right. All right, guys. I trust that you have learned. So subscribe, share, and drop a comment. Thank you.